Stockport County Live. I've just pressed record now. So don't worry, Dicko. All those shirt compliments you've been throwing at us aren't going out.
Very spicy, that, mate. Very spicy.
I didn't hear what you said, Liam. Can you repeat it?
Yeah. If you didn't hear what I said, mate, what I said was, I can't tell where his shirt ends and his wallpaper starts.
Joke's on you, mate, because these are curtains.
What were you wearing? Curtains?
Well, wearing a tablecloth.
Like a pot towel.
I think you look well, Chris. Honestly, I wouldn't listen to him.
Yeah, it's nice to see you too, Dicko. Where were you last week?
Here and back on. I don't feel bad hammering him.
How are we, boys?
All good, mate. All good. All the better for seeing you two.
I've had a tough week, if I'm honest, mate. Depressing week. I should have been in Mexico with the partner in crime.
Really?
With Homestead, actually, but yeah, COVID put a stop to that, didn't it? Eh?
Yeah.
No kids as well. No kids were meant to be. Bliss.
Have you had plenty of tequila to make up for it?
No, I've just been thinking about how many times I'm gonna have to cancel this holiday now because I won't be going anywhere soon. I've pushed it back to November. I'll probably have to push it back for next year again.
Was it all inclusive?
Don't want to talk about Matt.
I don't blame you, mate.
Yeah, all singing, all dancing.
All singing, all dancing. Pocket aces.
Well, the biggest worry I was going to have is I was there for 9 nights and there's 11 restaurants in the hotel. Like we would have had to double up at one night. That was the biggest problem, biggest dilemma of the week.
Yeah, one in front, one behind. I know what you mean.
Yeah, now all I'm doing is standing on Lego at home instead.
Well, I was saying to you off air, I was going to bring a beer on because I got some nice ones earlier in the week, but I drank them all earlier in the week. So I'm just on a cup of tea.
He always threatens to bring a beer on, doesn't he? He always threatens it.
I've got a cup with the greatest band in the world on, though, so it's all right. What are you on, Nico? I know that there's something lurking.
Standard, mate. Safe as I can't go wrong with a Budweiser, can you?
No, of course not. Listen, tonight, very special guest coming on at any moment, momentarily. Strikers Union. Richie Bennett is going to join us. Now, I was saying to you both before, I think there's some similarities in the way you two play. Obviously, Jim brought Richie to the club, and we know that he likes that big number 9 up top. So I think you two will get on like a house on fire. And he's come in, he's shown he's a big guy with a touch, scored a couple of screamers to boot. I think you two, you get on quite well.
I was very impressed when he came on at the West Ham game. I thought he bullied the defenders. I thought he held the ball up well. He scored. I was very impressed with that game.
Yeah,
performance, and then I can see what you mean about the similarities. Obviously when you're tall, you're classed as a lot of times a target man. It's not necessarily like he's got good footwork. He wants the ball to feet in behind. Looks a very decent player to me.
Well, I tell you what, that's quite high praise. Let's bring him in on that note. Richie Bennett, good evening, sir. Can I just say as well, before we start, that's a cracking moustache that you're rocking there, sir.
Well, it's lockdown. I'm not impressing anyone, so I can't really go anywhere.
You know where the nearest touch machine is?
Just neglect, is it? Is that what that is?
That's probably the best I've ever had it. To be fair, it don't go much thicker than that.
Do you know what? You should get some photos taken in the county kit now, like the traditional old style looking photos. Make it black and white, a bit coffee stain. You could like Richie Bennett, 1945. It looks great. Listen, I'm only jealous. Welcome to Stockport County Live. We'll start properly and officially now. How are you doing, pal?
Yeah, good, thanks. Yeah, good. Yourself, yeah?
We're ticking over, aren't we, fellas?
What's that? Ready to go?
Not too bad, mate.
Well, let's start straight with the football. It's a learning phase for County. Let's say that at the moment, because we can't get around the fact that there's a few games without goal fests, if you like. We're a team in transition, a club in transition, if you like. It's a learning phase for County at the moment.
Yeah, I think that's you've highlighted that and hit it on the head. I think obviously the gaffer's come in and he's got his own idea and he knows he's got to get to know the players, the strengths, the weaknesses, the formations, what works, what doesn't, and there's always going to be a bit of a transition period, and it's about us and what we can do as a group. And I think we've been doing well, to be fair. Obviously, we've probably not scored in the last 2 games, and look back, we probably did enough to win them both. And what we can keep doing is just keep working as a group and keep solid. And like I said, just keep trying to improve and take on board what the gaffer wants to do with us and try and implement it on match days.
I don't want to put too much emphasis and pressure on this, because we know we know that it's an incredibly talented group of players. That the manager's come in and he's getting to know everything, but he's people speak very highly of him. He's got great references. Dicko, maybe I'll bring you in on this as well. As a striker, not as a player in any other position at the club, but if there has been a couple of games without a goal, do you feel a bit more pressure?
There's a number of different reasons that there couldn't be goals, or you adapt into a different style of play. Obviously, Jim had his philosophy of the way he wanted to play. The gaffer's come in and his could be totally different. He's had that academy style going up through the academies at Brighton, through the age groups into the first team, and Brighton's first team style of play will be totally different to Stockport County style of play. So it's just finding that middle ground where the players can adapt and the manager can also see the strengths and the positives from what he's already got in the camp. So I wouldn't be too worried about a couple of games with no goals. You see that in the Premier League. Top teams in the Premier League, players have droughts, teams have droughts, a couple of games. You've got to look at the position they are in the league, and you take the positives from it and just continue to do what they're doing, and working with the gaffer, it's only going to get better.
One thing I've got to say, Richie, and this is, I know you only say this really the first couple of weeks of the season when new players have come in, but something Macaulay Southam-Hales said last week made me want to bring it up this week. He said, I asked him how he was settling in, how he was finding moving to Stockport, everything else. And he said, the first couple of weeks, he said, ask Richie Bennett. The first couple of weeks, he said, no one knew I was here. And now I'm one of the loudest ones there. Richie says it all the time. That, to me, says the squad is now in that position where the gelling, the cracks there. And that makes me not worried about, like Dicko says, a couple of games, because it sounds like the squad's in a good place.
Yeah, the squad's in a really good place as a unit. There's no like different. In changing rooms, you tend to get like the odd 6 on one, 5 of the other, and you get a good group. But to be fair, we're all one big group, which I think is really good. We back each other up. Our demands on each other are so high, and we go into every game and we're pushing each other. And we're disappointed. We come last 2 games at 0-0, and we come in and we're all like we've just been beat 4-5-0. We know we've got to be winning games. Our demands on ourselves and what the gaffer puts on us are we need to be there and winning every game. We go out to win every game. The teams we've played in the last couple of times have sort of sat in and they've celebrated the 0-0 as if they've beat us 2 or 3-0. And I think that says something about our team and what other teams want to do. We know that teams have come in and parking the bus and trying to get us on the break, and it's up to us to break them down. And I think that's something that we've got to get a lot better at. And I think we are doing it. But yeah, as a group, I think we're a tight knit squad, and our demands on each other and as a squad are very high.
Are you let me try and get my words out properly here. Are you a line leading striker like Dicko was? Would you put yourself in that kind of frame as like you lead the line?
I think like we said, Dicko was saying about being a target man. Everyone looks at your height and thinks, "Oh, Michael, target man, he's got to be." And I think I've got a lot better at that over the years. I've developed that side of the game a lot better than what I did, and I can do that side of it. But I think, like Dicko said, I think I have more to my feet, and I think I can use my feet more, bring other people into play. So I think there's a lot more to my game than just being a traditional target man, stand up there and just use my head or bounce. I think there's a bit more. I'd like to think anyway there's a bit more to my game than that.
It's a nice surprise sometimes, like you say, when you see when you sign a new player, or for example a striker, and you sign a big lad, and the fans are just thinking, and the players as well. Though he's 6'4", 6'5", ping it to his head, get it on his head. And when you actually get the ball into the feet and they do a bit and they can turn and they can bring players in and they can run the lines and run the channels, it's a nice surprise. And it's like some people are quite shocked. But I was just obviously saying before you came on, the West Ham game, I thought you were fantastic. The way you brought players in, you used your strength, you ran the channels, you didn't stop working, and it is. I feel like you get that label as a big lad, right? Target man. It's got to go into his chest. It's got to go into his head for flick-ons, and it's up to you to prove them wrong, kind of thing.
I think there's a point. Sorry, Matt, go on.
No, go for it. Go for it, Rich.
No, I think in certain games there's going to be times in conference, especially that's going to have to be a big part of the game. You know, when things aren't going well, you're going to have to do that dirty side before you can come and get the ball to feet and express yourself. You've got to do that side of the game probably just as much as the nice side. Sorry, Matt. Sorry to.
No, it's okay, pal. Don't worry. I was just going to say, mate. I think the fact that you're in Stockport County's first team, you know, a squad that's looking to go up into the Football League, you must have a hell of a lot more to your game than just a target man. You must have, or you wouldn't be there. And I think you made a great point earlier. Just backtracking a little bit to the demands. That's always the sign of a cracking side and a really great side. The players demand more off each other, and I think it was Alex Ferguson that said about 15, 20 years ago when he had the likes of Scholes, Giggs, Nicky Butt, the Neville brothers all coming through. He said, you know, Peter Schmeichel, I didn't really have to do much from the side. They were ripping each other's heads off and demanding more from each other. If you've got that, you're on the way then.
You mentioned the West Ham game, Dicko. Richie, there was one moment. Just tell us what it was like for you on the pitch, because there was one moment when you've come on, and this is not a slant at the ground staff because the weather was torrential that night. It was so bad. But there was one moment where you've kind of broke free, and I thought, this is it. And the ball caught up. I know that you know when I'm talking about. The ball caught up in the water, in
the swimming pool on the left wing.
Yeah, and I thought, you know, but just for that brief second, I thought he's going to do this, you know. But then, and through no fault of your own, the ball held up a little bit. Just what was it like being on the pitch at that moment?
Yeah, well, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I'd have hit top bins and ran off, you know, and celebrated. But
you can say that if you want, mate.
You might have done.
I like to think that I'd have had another touch and had a shot, but yeah, the pitch just. I think it got to a point where the pitch weren't really helping any team. You know, at first it was probably helping us a bit, and then it got to a point where it was sort of just the conditions were that bad. It weren't really helping any of us. But I thought I was through myself, to be fair, and it just got stuck in the puddle, and then I had to set it back to John, I think, and he just didn't quite get there. But yeah, it was a good experience to come on, and like Dick was saying, it's a squad game. I came on there and Reedy did a great shift. You know, the 60 odd minutes he was on there, he'd run himself into the ground. So it was nice to get on and get try and help the lads up the pitch.
Yeah, you should have seen the pitch what it looked like when we were playing, mate. It's like Old Trafford now, mate. We played. I remember. You remember that game with Wickham? Yeah. And the ref was going to call it off after about 20 minutes, but we went like 3-0 up. I think Proudy scored a hat trick, didn't he?
I will double check.
I think Proudlock scored a hat trick. We beat him like 6-0 or something in the season.
Yeah, I remember the
pitch was like it was worse. It was like a really, really bad Sunday League pitch. Oh, it was awful. There was no grass on it. It was just mud and sand. And we battered like Wickham, who were top of the league 6-0.
Was that when Jermaine Easter played for Wickham?
I think so, yeah.
Richie, you mentioned Alex Reid there. Just tell us a little bit about what it's like a potential partnership blossoming there. And I think it's what's really important to say is one maybe gets more goals than the other, but the meaning of a partnership means he doesn't get those goals if you're not there with him to, you know, kind of make things tick over, if you like, provide the assists, or even, as I've heard in some circles, the word pre-assist, you know, where you make something happen to get there in the first place. What's the dynamic like with you and Reedy?
Yeah, I think complement each other. I think that I myself, I think, played better with Reedy alongside me, and I'm sure Reedy thinks he plays better in his game when I'm playing with him, you know, because I can sort of do that side of things and let Reedy just concentrate on getting in behind or making them forward runs. But yeah, it's like I said, when we play as a one, it changes the dynamics a bit. But we've got them Connor Jennings and the Tens and Runes. You got people like that running off you. So I think we've got a good mixture of players, and we can sort of adapt to any formation with the great squad we've got. So I think me and Reedy have got a great partnership. I think we need to get back like scoring ways and get back assisting. Enjoying yourself there, Dicko, yeah.
Melting, mate. 2 down, 8 to go.
Yeah.
You don't get interviews like this on Sky, Richie. You don't. It doesn't.
Not like that boring Sky.
You don't.
You've got to wear a suit on, can't you?
Do you know what? Part of me does think Graham Souness has like a little bottle down the side that we can't.
It's got to, mate. It's not comfortable. Yeah. You've got to wear a suit on Sky. In fact, I might wear my Wembley suit next week.
You have to. Richie, one thing that's come up quite a lot these few weeks is who's rocking the best and worst lockdown hair. We've already said a bit about what's going on the people on this call, but who's rocking it in the changing rooms? Who's not pulling it off, and who's looking all right?
Macca's is getting overgrown, I think.
Last week,
there's a few dodgy trims. I think Willow's missing cut is, and it looked like a bowl. It looked all right in the changing rooms, and when he went outside, you could see a big bowl line on there. But
Peaky Blinders gone wrong.
Yeah, there's a few dodgy. Yeah, there's a few dodgy trims, but it's expected. You can't do anything, can you, about it?
No, fair enough. We can still give him a bit. Before we let you go, Richie, what do you reckon of this shirt? Is it all right? Does it go with the curtains all right?
Spicy. Spicy.
It's
pattern on pattern.
I'd rather not say it.
Watched it. It looks really faded.
Right, well, do you know what, lads? I've heard enough. Listen, Richie. Before we let you go, it is just to take it on to the season again. It is a big season for County. There is still a lot to play for, and with all the things going on at the moment, we just said literally just before we came on air tonight, the club have released, or should I say, the league have released a statement, and the club have put it out as well. With all this uncertainty going on, the only thing that we can really focus on is what's going on at County. And okay, of course, there's some bumps along the road. It's never easy going from looking. We won promotion recently to this division. We're looking quite aggressively to get it again and again and again. But the focus is there, and there are reasons to be positive.
Yeah, massively. I think with the group of players we've got, we know ourselves. We should be pushing for promotion. And it's still in our aims to do that. I think there's a lot of games to play, a lot of points to play. So I think looking ahead, I think we just got to keep on building, and I'm sure it'll come that we keep turning performances in, week out, and we keep working hard and keep grinding. I think it will be a turning point, and we'll go on a little run, and then we'll just see what happens from there.
Yeah, of course. Well, listen, mate, we'll let you crack on. Thanks very much for joining us tonight.
Come on, Richie, lad.
Thanks for the compliment on the shirt.
Thanks a lot.
Quality, Rich.
That was yours welcome. But cheers, mate. Nice one. We'll let you run on.
Cheers, Rich. All the best for the season, pal. Take it easy.
Keep it going.
Right, let's not bring up the shirt again. Listen, the shirt / curtain. Listen, I like Richie. I think as a player on the pitch, I really like the dynamic that's beginning to form with Alex Reid. I think there's real potential there. Listen, the two have only just started playing together, but if they get a good run of games, and I'm not just talking 3, 4, 5 games, maybe half a season, you know what it's like. Both of you been on the pitch.
York and Cole.
10, 15, 20 games it takes.
That's what you need. It's not going to happen overnight. Sometimes it takes half a season, a full season. But what I like about him is very honest as a player. He'll work hard. He'll put his body in. He'll put a tackle in. Do you know what I mean? For exactly what we was talking about before. Obviously, Reid is scoring the goals. He's happy for his teammate to be scoring goals as long as they're winning. Putting performances that he gets, put strikers that and a team player a bit greedy. They want to score the goals. They sulk if they don't score. We've had this conversation before, but it seems to me he's a very honest player. He's a team player, and that's exactly what Stockport County need.
Did you Who would you class as your strike partners over the years, county or elsewhere?
For me, I was a lone striker for the majority of the season. I didn't get my chance really till the second part of the season. I mean, I played up front with Tess Bramble.
Was you playing 4-2-3-1, Dicko?
Yeah. So I had
so
Tommy
Rowe.
Rowe. I had Tommy Rowe and Pilksy beside of me, and Glees. And Glees,
but I mean, and Glees lingering in the middle.
And Glees, yeah, but for the majority of that season, I just played as a lone striker. But other clubs I've been at, I don't know, Jermaine Beckford. I've had some very good players next to me. Mikhail Smith, Aaron McLean. People who've scored like 30 plus goals a season in League Two, League One.
Yeah.
Big players. So, but as far as Stockport County is concerned, I've had spells with Anthony Eldin, Alf Adam Lafondra, but when I got my proper run, the formation we played, I was a lone striker.
I got a good talk with Jermaine Beckford at the West Ham game.
Yeah,
we've got some friends in common. We've worked on some similar things outside of football.
Yeah,
it was good to catch up, but he was a real player, Jermaine Beckford.
Mate, honestly, it was just a goal machine. Like, obviously, when I went on loan onto Leeds, I had a stinker there, mate. I just tweaked my medial, wasn't fully fit. I just wasn't playing well. And I had players. I was trying to get in a team with Beckford, Snodgrass, Delph.
Was Becchio?
I don't think you had very long.
Luciano Becchio.
Make an impression. I mean, you didn't have very long, did you?
No. But when the impression it made wasn't the best because I wasn't fully fit. Like I say, you had Beckford, you had Delph, you had Luciano Becchio, Snodgrass, Johnny Howson, Bradley Johnson. All these players have played in the Prem now. Do you know what I mean? But it was an experience. But yeah, he was just a goal machine.
So on this idea of linking up, then let's bring you in a bit, Matty, because in the centre midfield, I mean, Dicko referred to York and Cole before, but how many midfield duos can you name? What's it like in different areas of the pitch when you're looking to build a relationship with a player? These things don't happen overnight. And the one thing I'm trying to get across here is there'll be a lot of people that watch this, and people, believe it or not, like to give us a bit of stick sometimes, mainly me. But being a bit of an apologist for County, or just trying to say the good things that happen. But people need to, relationships take time, especially on a football. Yeah. So,
of course,
Dicko mentioned the strike partnerships coming along and stuff. What's it like in other areas of the pitch when you're trying to get to know someone as a person and as a player, and learn a new manager's tactics at the same time and everything else?
Go on, Dicko, mate.
No, go on.
No, I was just going to say it all relates back to what we spoke about before, and it being a business, and it being points. Points matter, money matters, so every game matters. And I think that in itself means that you've not got very long to make an impression. But you have to consider that you're with these players 4 training sessions a week as well as match day, so it can happen quite quick. But Liam will know better than me what it's like to play with different strikers and what he brings to the table, what someone else brings to the table. From my point of view, in midfield, I don't think there's anything better than having a good outlet like Liam, or like Richie, or like Jermaine Beckford, or whoever it might be. Knowing that you're going to fire the ball up to the feet and it's going to stick, or something's going to happen. They're going to, even if it doesn't stick, even if they're swamped, it's going to deflect to one of our sort of front runners, and we're going to advance up the pitch. Get the crowd going. So I think there's not just the relationship between me and my partner in the middle. There's also the relationship between me and Liam, or me and the other striker, or Liam and the other midfielder. It's knowing where to be. It's knowing when, you'll know this yourself, Liam. It's knowing when to get in front of your centre half at the right time.
It's knowing the player as a person. With me, if I know if the ball comes into, for example, when we were at Stalybridge, for example, I knew as soon as the ball came into Matty, he wants that first touch into my feet. And I knew that ball. He didn't have to look up. I had to be there.
Sometimes blind, exactly. I'm just going to wrap it on the corner.
It's just understanding.
Knowing that he's going to pin somebody. Exactly. It's understanding.
But Matt hit the nail on the head. It's not just on a Saturday. They work on this, 4 days a week. So it does take time. And, fans only see it on a Saturday.
Yeah. Then there's the adapting, isn't it? Because if they cotton onto that and they start playing with a higher line, then that's when the other striker comes to play, or Liam starts running the channels, and then I have to sort of change what I do. So I'm not playing to his feet anymore, 10 yards. I'm then wrapping it around the corner, 20, 30 yards for him to drop, take him that way again. So I mean, there's little things along the way, and it's a relationship between the two, really.
From the personal perspective, if you like, you hear these stories like when Liverpool had that amazing midfield of Steven Gerrard, Javier Mascherano, and Xabi Alonso, amongst others.
Yeah.
And there was the story that Xabi Alonso would have movie nights round at his house, where it's got this amazing big cinema screen style, multi-millionaire, whatever, and all the lads come over, and it's that as well. I mean, I'm guessing that can't really happen.
Yeah, but you got to ask yourself, was he happy?
But it's that team building, isn't it? Like
I
touched on it a moment ago. You can't. I imagine let's say if you put a couple of bad balls into Dicko or something, it's harder for him, I would imagine, to turn around and give you a rollicking if he don't really know you.
But it is. But I don't think that would stop him. I won't call it a rollicking, but he expects more of me, and I expect more of him.
You demand.
Yeah. Give me a little bit of a nudge. Come on, you're better than that. And that's how things are. It doesn't have to be a rollicking
as far as obviously what you're saying about the use of a movie night and stuff like that, and obviously you can't do that at the minute. As far as that goes, when I was at County, I spent time with my teammates quite a lot off the field. I was very close to Griff. I'd only just really got close to Matty then, but as our relationship developed and we was at Stalybridge together, we spent a lot of time together. We'd go for food, we'd travel in together every day. So I think it's important to have that relationship. You've got to sometimes leave football in your private life aside, but you have got players that are in your private life, and you have become like your best friends, and so it is part and parcel of football, to bond with you. And we do a lot. You do throughout the season for the clubs I've been at. You do a lot of team bonding days where you go out and have a laugh. Remember when we went for a Stalybridge and we went to that lake? Yeah. Oh, it was melting. It was just like no one knew what we were doing. They just said bring shorts and stuff.
Yeah,
bring a pair of shorts and a towel. So we had no idea, and they took us. Briggsy took us to this lake in, where was it? In Stalybridge, near Stalybridge Way.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Like some lake thing, and they had them Zorbs. Is it Zorbing, the inflatable ball?
Yeah. We
did kayaking, and it was just like everyone laughed, and it was just it got the team spirit going again. Everyone was together rather than coming to training. We were in a relegation battle, so morale was down, and it was rather than just coming in, going to training, going home. It was like, right, you know what, have a bit of fun today, and it lifted the spirit and lifted the camp a little bit. And the players, if the management don't want to do that or don't do that, the players tend to say, we need to do something. We need a night out, or we need go for Nando's together, or laser quest. Any paintball.
Just cut loose of it all.
I think it was Ash Williams that arranged paintballing one time when we were at Stockport County. Absolutely murders that thing, but it was just a top crack. It was just a good laugh and lads together.
I can imagine Ash Williams is absolutely ruthless at paintball.
Oh,
I don't know why. I just have this image of him going full commando, Rambo style.
You know what, right? You know what? Well, what happened? We saw it. So I think it was Ash, mate. They went all out. They went to some place in Knutsford, Battlefield or something it was called, and he was buying smoke grenades, pellets, like exploding everything, mate. And he was buying it all. I ended up bringing one home, and it was when we were training it. Was it Manor Farm? Right, the old training ground, Manor Farm. And I bred this smoke bomb on training session. We were all at change room, but I just threw it in and closed the door. People were talking about more, mate. Gannon, mate. Like Richard Lando was like, had no idea what's going on. We must have a fire somewhere. Oh, mate, absolutely nuts.
What about Dicko? What about the kettle in Ibiza?
That was proud of that, mate.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to get proud of. He absolutely aired all my messages, read and no reply. Cheers, pal.
Mate,
he's coming on. We've got right. The cat's out of the bag. Adam Proudlock's coming on soon. We've got him. Like, it's happening. But go on.
But you know what?
I'll save it for Proudy when Proudy's on.
Save it for Proudy. But you know these days out, somebody has to end up in the lake, don't they? Fully clothed. I'm not going to say no more.
He's always somewhere in the lake. But yeah, we had Briggsy, mate. We had
Briggsy. Wing and a leg, mate.
End of the team bonding. Me and Matty just grabbed him, He said like you either take your phone out of your pocket now, or you're going in with your phone.
Yeah,
He
took it out, obviously.
Arm and a leg, and we're just absolutely singing in the freezing cold lake.
And he's 6'5", so he's always gonna go.
6'5", 3.5 stone, piss went through. But do you know what? He got out of it, had a laugh. He's
a good crack.
He's just a top guy, brings it.
Yeah, it's class.
Oh, well, listen, I want to hear more of these. Well, I think we should have a team building, bonding down at the lake or paintballing or something.
1,000%, yeah.
Bit weird, just three of us at a lake, innit, really? Well, game. Or maybe a pub. With
all right, lads, what are you doing? What the three of you just doing?
We're just throwing each other in a lake.
We've got a dinghy, mate. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm game. I'm definitely game for something. We need to start playing golf or something.
Yeah, no, I'm all over that. I'm all over that. By the way, just to move the conversation on for a moment, I think people who are listening or watching to this are going, we get it. Team building is important. I wanted to move on about people mainly giving me stuff. I was watching City Everton the other night on Amazon, which, by the way, I think is really good. The camera work on Amazon, it just looks a bit different, doesn't it, to Sky and stuff. But Ali McCoist was on CoCom, and he was trending. And I went on, and usually you see, I don't know, Phil Neville, Michael Owen, Danny Murphy. These people are trending, and people are giving him so much stick about CoCom. Oh, terrible. But Ali McCoist was trending because he was genuinely buzzing off it. He was loving it. And I just think, going forward, moving to CoCom, I only noticed more Ali McCoist and less Phil Neville. Did either of you hear Ali McCoist on the commentary?
I didn't hear it, no.
No.
It brings so much more to the table when a guy is just, I don't think correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think he has any vested interest in either Man City or Everton. Yeah, but he was just loving it. I think that's what you want.
It's a buzz, that, isn't it? Yeah, definitely.
It's like new though, isn't it? Like, I feel like it's the excitement. Like, if you've got someone who's doing it week in, week out, game in, game out, the excitement's, it wears off a little bit. It's a job. It's a job for Gary Neville. That's his job. When you get someone like Ali McCoist who's called, I think it was who else used to do it? He used to get really excited. I think it was Steve McManaman, and he used to get excited about the games and stuff. And you could hear that excitement. He's actually watching the game, and he's not just commentating on the game and doing his job. He's actually watching the game and enjoying the game as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I heard he got some pelters the other night because I think he was doing the Liverpool game. I watched Barca PSG, so I missed the Liverpool one. But apparently he kept referring to home advantage when wasn't it a neutral ground? Because travel or something. But dearie me.
Basics.
Yeah, we've got to get it in. So, well, listen, I think we can start to wrap up. But I'm nailing on this team building day, and what paintballing or maybe down at a pub. What we should do is we should get some of the legend guests to join us.
That'd be class.
Yeah, social distancing, though, guys. Stay safe. Save lives. Save each other.
With no paintballing, you can enforce social distancing by anyone. But
it's a great crack. That very painful. Been a couple of times.
Got to be old. Yeah.
Went for my pal's birthday once. His mum and dad bought it in for his birthday. There's about 8 of us went. Got to the very end. And it was like, right, we have 1v1 now. So you get in pairs and you all line up 1v1 behind each other, back to back. He said, you blow his whistle, and then you start walking forward. So you're walking away from each other. When they blow the second whistle, you turn and you just shoot each other. So like, listen, we won't shoot each other. On the third whistle, you can shoot anyone. So it's like, we won't shoot each other. On the third whistle, we'll just pick everyone off. So the first whistle went, we started walking. The second whistle went, we turned, aimed the guns at each other, no shooting. Everyone's fucking firing pellets at each other. The third whistle, we turn, I shoot a mate. My mate thinks, just picks me off. Got my gun on the floor. He shot me in the hand. I'm trying to scramble on the floor to get his gun while he's picking me off. He's hitting me neck. I'm screaming like a 12-year-old girl. Oh, mate, it was very painful.
It's horrendous, isn't it?
Yeah, so I can't wait for that one. Yeah, we'll do it again, definitely.
Yeah, can't wait.
We should mix some
I'm
of
up for the lake.
the sessions. We should do zorbing paintballing on a lake.
Yeah.
What could go wrong?
You know what I do want to do? Have you seen the football, like you're inside, you got the like half a zorb, it's round you up to you hold on to it and you're running and you just run into people and knock them over. But it doesn't hurt because if you bounce down, you just bounce back up again.
I'm claustrophobic. I need like a written guarantee I'm going to get out, you know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, then you've got to do the bleep test in it as well.
I reckon, Matt. I reckon you've got to do zorb boxing. Yeah.
Thumbs up.
Yeah. Before we let you go, Dicko, that county paintballing day, who was ruthless and who was
Williams was ruthless, mate. Ash Williams was ruthless. Tell you who else, Rosie as well. Pretty sure Rosie was like G.I. Joe. I think it was like some Mike Malcolm who didn't see him. I think he just hid behind a tree for 4 hours. Who else was there? I think we had. Do you remember Michael Walski?
Yes.
No one would shoot him. No one would shoot him, mate. You see, so do you know what he used to do with the gym? So he used to be in there lifting weights. I was about 7 stone piss wet through. Like, they were like not seeing cotton, doing lifting 10 key either side, struggling like that, shaking like a shitting dog. And Michael Walski came in, and you know when you got like the triangle thing that you put all the weights on the other side.
Yeah.
Just do shrugs with that. All the weights on, mate, like all weights, just shrugging it.
Akim Fenmer style.
Yeah, he used to train
on his shoulders.
Yeah, he was training in a bin bag to try and get the sweat out, and like, that's just not good for you. That's not going to help you. You're going to pass out. So no one shot him. He was an animal.
So on a scale, you've got Michael Walski on top, Ash Williams and Michael Rose somewhere just below him. Michael Malcolm, other end of the spectrum.
Malcolm, bottom, other end of the spectrum. I was like mid. I couldn't hide anywhere because if my legs didn't stick out, my head stuck out somewhere. I was that long.
Was it John Ruddy and Conrad?
You were still offside.
No, it was before then. I think it was my first year. I think it was my first season. Like, obviously, Walski was there. James Spencer. James Spencer was ruthless, actually. Spencer was the most ruthless. He used to go out hunting, so we would just pray. That's all we were to him, pray. Honestly, he was just like, that's not Liam Dickens. That's just a pheasant. I'll get it.
Yeah, I'll cook it.
Yeah, take your own, cook it. There was some ruthless ones.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not up for this. I'm not up for this one bit. I'll be honest.
No. Let's stick to
social distance one.
Live music at a bar.
Yeah, I'm feeling that a little. Yeah,
live music. A man and a guitar. That's all you need.
No guns allowed.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, listen, fellas, it's been special. I'm gonna go and change my shirt and shave my head. I'll
just change your curtains, mate. It'll be fine.
My missus is. You know what? One of these days, she's gonna listen to one of these and hear this.
But that'll be the last time I'm on here.
Yeah, you'll come and it'll just be like a white wallpaper next. Well, listen. Until next week.
We go again.
Cheers, fellas.
Take care.